Here we are very close to the end of the course, and what I thought I would do is, since the original conclusion, which is now the intermission, has a little aside on how we learn, I thought I'd put a little aside here on something interesting to end the course with. And I chose Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. This is something I learned way back in college, back in the late 70s. And it's one view of how to motivate people. Now, this is typically how to motivate other people, but you might look at it as your own motivation and what you might be after. Now, what is it all about? Maslow hypothesized that people are motivated by longings in a hierarchy, from basic needs to ultimate expression. So things like food and water and so on are more important. If people don't have that satisfied, they're not going to be motivated by things having to do with esteem. These needs are expressed in a hierarchy. To influence a person, one must first determine where they are in this hierarchy of needs. So let's take a look at this hierarchy. Down at the very bottom, the most basic need is your physiological or your physiological needs, or physical necessity. This is things like food, water, and stuff like that. Next comes safety. If you don't have the physical needs and safety, you're not going to be interested in love and belonging. And after that, then you want esteem. You want to actually excel in the group. And self-actualization is at the top of the peak. Now notice it also is a triangle. So these are the importance of these things. Physical necessity, food, drink, water, shelter are way, way more important than sitting around on a rock in the middle of nowhere trying to achieve self-actualization. So let's take a look at each of these layers again. So physical necessity is food, water, shelter. Safety, you need to not be in immediate fear of death. Love and belonging, to be a member of society and a family. This is where you start building, now you've got security, so you now want to make a loving, warm environment. And then next is recognition and reputation through esteem. You want others to recognize your accomplishments and your contributions to the community. And then finally, there's man's ultimate potential. This is self-actualization. It's not exactly defined. It might be different for every person, and that's why it's hard to define. But what is it that is your ultimate achievement, your ultimate being? How will you know when you've made it, right? When you've achieved your ultimate desires. So ultimate desires, call it that, self-actualization. So once again, back to the pyramid of hierarchy. If you don't satisfy people's food and water needs, they're not going to be too interested in safety. They're starved. Okay, so they get food and water. Now they're interested in safety and shelter and things like that. Now they've actually got all these things, and they're looking around and they're going, wow, it's kind of lonely. It'd be nice to have a group, to have belonging and love. And once you get that, once you get the group going, now you're in a society. You actually want the society to recognize you as being one of their top achievers. So you're looking for esteem. And then you go off into your own self-actualization, being your ultimate self. Now, the study of it actually showed that as you develop personally, your intensity of needs and the needs you focus on change over time. So on the very far left, we're not very developed personally. And we're primarily interested in physical needs and safety, right? And as we move across, safety becomes more important. Physical needs are still kind of there until safety finally takes over. And look, now suddenly love and belonging are beginning to creep in the more we develop to the right. So eventually, when we get to the far right, self-actualization is the big drive, and all of the other needs have become, you just kind of take it for granted. You notice that? How after you get used to things after a while, you take them for granted, and now you're on to the next big goal, right? So you're constantly trying to achieve, and that's your self-actualization ultimately. So think about this the next time you want to influence somebody. What do they need? Let's say you're the boss. Do they need food or money, like a salary increase? Is that what's going to motivate them? Do they need job security? So they're looking for a little safety. So maybe things like health insurance and things that will make them feel secure. Do they need to be welcomed to the group? It's going to do no good welcoming to the group, people to the group, and having nice parties and stuff like that if they're desperately in need of money and security. What about recognition for their accomplishments? A lot of bosses use that to motivate employees. Well, notice how far down the list it is, right? If you're not welcome in the group, if you don't have job security and medical insurance and so on, you're not making enough money, recognition for your accomplishments, if you get a little badge or a trophy or something, isn't going to mean a lot. If you have all those things covered, it could mean a lot to an employee and motivate them. Or are they headed for perfection or self-actualization? So there you go. We've covered Maslow's hierarchy of needs and how it applies to motivation, possibly your own and definitely motivating other people.